Consumer staple stocks are on a huge sale. Today I want to talk about 11 of these companies that have had massive dips, and if you believe in these brands and these companies, this might be a good opportunity to get in. So this is actually a follow-up video on my previous 20 stocks that are on sale right now. So if you haven't watched that video already, make sure to click that card up here. So in that video, I didn't really talk about consumer related stocks because I did have this video planned for only consumer related stocks. And you'll see here that some of these picks are down around 10% and some of these picks are down over 30%. What I've also done in this video is I've added the dividend that these companies are currently paying out. So that kind of adds to the value of picking up these companies as well. Every single one of these companies that I'm about to list pays out a dividend. Some pay maybe a percentage dividend, but some pay as much as 5%. So stay tuned. Alright, first before I get into these 11 separate picks, let's take a look at this whole sector as a whole. The ETF XLP actually tracks the space, and if we take a look here at the performance, we can see that year to date we are down over 10.5% in this space. 1 year return is also down a bit, over 6%. So with 2017 being a phenomenal year for stocks overall, clearly this sector underperformed the market. But with this comes potential opportunity to pick up some shares on very strong companies and hold them over the very long term to come out not only with a great return on investment, but to also take advantage of the great dividends that these companies pay. Alright, so now let's get into our picks. So first off here we have Constellation Brands, and they were down around 6%. So these guys pay a 1.35% dividend, and if you're not sure what this company does, they're pretty much a company in the beer, wines, and spirits space. A popular brand that most people know that they own is Corona. Next we have Pfizer with a 8.5% dip. So Pfizer actually pays out a dividend of 3.81%. And these guys are a massive pharmaceutical type company. One of the most common medicines that they own right now is called Xanax, which is something a lot of people have heard of. Next on the list, we have Coca-Cola with a 12.5% dip. So Coke pays a 3.66% dividend. And if you're not familiar with Coca-Cola, they own tons of brands in the beverage space. They're pretty much the market leader in this soft drink space. And they own brands like Coca-Cola, Sprite, etc. Next, we have Tyson Foods with a 16% dip. So these guys actually pay out a 1.7% dividend, so a bit on the lower side compared to the others. And as the name implies, they're a food-related company and they own brands like Hillshire Farm. Next, we have Pepsi with a 17.5% dip. So Pepsi pays a 3.67% dividend. And honestly, for this brand, getting it at this cheap of a price with this dividend is actually a very good bargain. It's a company that I'm seriously looking at. I might add this to my portfolio personally. But if you don't know, Pepsi actually doesn't only own beverages, they also own a lot of the snack space. So brands like Cheetos and Lay's is owned by Pepsi. Next we have Colgate-Palmolive with a 18% dip. So these guys pay a 2.64% dividend. And as the name implies, they own Colgate and they own Palmolive. And they also own a couple other known brands like Irish Spring. So they're pretty much a consumer stock that a lot of people use on a daily basis. Next we have Clorox with again around an 18% dip. Clorox pays out a dividend of 3.09%, and like some of the other brands on this list, they have products that are used regularly, sometimes even daily by a lot of people. A well-known brand that's kind of on the higher end that they own include Burt's Bees, and Clorox actually tends to stick to higher name brands and brands that people actually trust. Next we have Johnson & Johnson with a 19.5% dip, and these guys pay out a dividend of 3.02%. So Johnson & Johnson is huge in the healthcare space as well, but they also make a lot of things like baby products. They own brands like Aveeno and Band-Aid as well. So again, a well-established company with well-known brands. Now getting into our final three, which come in at over 20% dips. First we have Hershey with a 21% dip, and these guys pay out a 2.86% dividend. So if you're not familiar with Hershey, they're of course a chocolate company. They own brands like Reese's and Kit Kat, and a lot of chocolates that a lot of us have grown up with. Next we have Procter & Gamble with a 21.5% dip and a handsome 3.87% dividend. So So this is yet another company that owns brands that we use on a regular basis. They own brands like Tide and Pampers and other things that people don't really think of, but it is something that we purchase regularly because we need these as household items. Alright, so the last stock on this list is actually one that may surprise you, but if you really think about their business model, it's not that surprising why they've been going down over the last few months and even the last couple of years. The industry as a whole has been changing to a more healthier lifestyle, and that is why Philip Morris is actually down right now around 35.5%. That being said, they do pay a 5.4% dividend right now, so they are enticing investors to still stick around with the company. They are, of course, if you don't know, a large tobacco company, and tobacco is seen as something negative from a lot of people, so a lot of people don't invest in this company because of moral reasons, but the brand as a whole is very strong, and people who do consume tobacco products typically like to stick to brands that Philip Morris owns. So they're a strong player in this space, they have taken a huge hit, and if you believe this might be a turnaround play, this might be a good time to start adding into a position. Alright, so that kind of covers my 11 stocks, consumer stocks, that are on sale right now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and drop a huge like on this video as well. And make sure to join our Facebook group at Positive Investing and follow us on Instagram as well at positive_investing. There's a lot of great content being posted on there, so don't miss out. Either way, guys, I truly appreciate the support. I hope you enjoyed these videos, but either way, don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one.